July 14th, 2022. Halfcast 325, episode 325. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Ex-Georgia mayor gets prison for stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars of his city's COVID-19 relief funds. So it seems that my search continues for anyone who benefited from this money, that actually needed it, that actually got the money in accordance to what it was supposed to be used for. It looks like he spent a chunk of that money on a texturizer, on a curl kit. A former mayor of a Georgia city was sentenced to prison for stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in COVID-19 relief funds, the Justice Department announced on Wednesday. Jason Larry, the 60-year-old former mayor of Atlanta suburb Stonecrest, used his office to obtain federal funding meant for small businesses and public health expenses during the early days of the pandemic. He got in on the bottom floor. The Justice Department said Georgia's DeKalb County gave Stonecrest a $6.2 million grant, which was eventually redirected into private companies formed by Larry. All I can picture is this guy telling everyone that he's going to put all the money back into the city, and everything he puts the money into, somehow a few bucks lands into his bank account. Larry betrayed the trust placed in him by the citizens of Stonecrest by stealing the very funds meant to help his constituents weather the COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. Attorney Ryan Buchanan said in a statement, well, the first mistake was trusting a government official that looks like he slicks his hair. He continued, the people of Stonecrest deserve better, and corrupt officials can expect severe consequences for using their offices to commit crimes. He did not act alone, because the minute he would have decided to take the money all for himself and not cut somebody in, he would have been caught day one. In the release, the Justice Department outlined he definitely greased a couple palms, if for anything else, just hush money. In the release, the Justice Department outlined an elaborate scheme in which Larry set up a private business to collect $6 million from the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act that was supposed to go towards mass testing, public health expenditures, and grants for small businesses in the city. The former mayor set up a private company, Municipal Resource Partners Corporation, Inc., to collect it. It made it sound legit, to collect the checks with the help of his co-conspirator, Lanyard Boone. Yeah, you don't act alone in these cases with all these eyes on you. The city then entered a partnership with MRPC to help distribute the aid, but in practice, federal authorities said that some of the funds were used for personal expenses. Just in the office writing checks to himself, to me, for me, by me. In one case, Larry used $108,000 to pay off a mortgage for his lakefront home, Lake Varnell. According to the Justice Department, he then used an additional $7,600 to pay off Boone's son's college tuition and rent. When a church was set to receive relief funds, Larry placed conditions around the aid. It's not funny. For example, one church was given $150,000 on the condition that $50,000 be given to a company that Larry controls. Shipping and handling, baby. Shipping and handling. Larry also lied that the money would be used on home repairs for those who could not afford them during the pandemic. So the only waste would be using this money for what it was actually meant for before I get a chance to wet my beak. You got me horribly messed up. In reality, he used the money for his own purposes, including to pay off his outstanding federal, state, and local tax liabilities Federal authorities said, "How did you let this man in office to have a say so in appropriating all this money? And he's struggling with his own personal finances." Larry pled guilty in January to conspiracy, wire fraud, and federal program theft. He was sentenced to 4 years and 9 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release in order to pay nearly $120,000 in restitution. This sentencing holds Larry accountable for abusing his position of trust and blatant disrespect for the law. FBI Special Agent Kerry Farley said in a statement. So I'm not surprised when I hear these folks in office do a little bit of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Everybody's not always on board. You have to grease a couple palms in the process. You put a few bucks in your pocket for yourself. But for someone to say, every time I give you money for this, I'm going to put some money into my personal thing, that's just wild. That's just in your face robbery. The Department of Labor Office of Inspector General estimated that at least $163 billion were paid improperly, with a significant portion attributable to fraud, according to the agency's report from March 17th. Just 4 billion have been reclaimed by the US, the Washington Post reported. Man, absolutely not facing charges for shooting at armed home invaders, Florida sheriff says. Finally, a feel good story, because we've been seeing people face serious repercussions for protecting their property or protecting themselves. A Florida sheriff said a homeowner will absolutely not face charges after he shot at armed suspects with an AK-47 style gun during a home invasion on July 7th. According to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, three suspects pushed the homeowner into his house after he answered the door and attacked them during a home invasion. One of the suspects was armed. During the home invasion, the victim dropped his gun, which was then picked up by a suspect. Deputies said, with two suspects armed, the victim ran to a back room and grabbed another gun. What is this, Belly, the original Dundada? And began shooting at the suspects. I think it is. The suspects can be seen in security video running from the home as shots rang out. The adult version of No Fun When the Rabbit Has the Gun. A release said the three suspects ran to a vehicle where a fourth suspect was waiting and they drove off. So, those of you who might ask a question, is the homeowner going to be charged for shooting at these people? Absolutely not. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons said the homeowner is protecting himself, and in Florida and Escambia County, you can protect yourself. Did you detect the shade in that statement, calling the rest of you states a bunch of punks? Deputies later identified the Torrance Hackworth 20, Antonio the Torrance. You left that man no career path. It was either this or R&B singer. Antonio Dwayne Dean Jr., 18, and Joseph Roman Sanders, 18, as suspects. They are still looking to identify the fourth suspect. Hackworth was arrested on use display of a firearm during a felony, possession of a firearm by a felon, larceny, grand theft of a firearm, and robbery home invasion with a firearm charges. Damn. Dean Jr., Sanders, and the unidentified fourth man are still wanted. Dean Jr. faces charges of use, display of a firearm during a felony, possession of a firearm by a felon, larceny, grand theft of the firearm, and robbery home invasion with a firearm. Sanders faces a home invasion with a firearm charge. Oh, they're handing them out. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Here we go. Police investigating allegations woman avoided citation with white privilege card. We knew there always was one. We just never knew there was really a physical white card. Whose face is on it? Paula Dean? Alaska police are investigating allegations of a woman who said she avoided a traffic citation after presenting officers with a white privilege card during a traffic stop. That's right. Tell all. Mimi Israela was driving to a pizzeria in Anchorage after flying in from California for a Trump rally. They validated her white privilege card at a Trump rally on Saturday when she was pulled over by police, according to a now deleted Facebook post. However, when officers asked for a license, she said she couldn't find it, instead, offering a card that read, "White privilege card trumps everything." It's shocking how ridiculous this does not sound. When I saw my white privilege card, I gave to him if it's okay, she wrote in the social media post along. She could have used better grammar alongside of she's so proud of her damn white privilege card with along a selfie with the officer. She took a selfie with the officer. He laughed and called his partner. It's their first time to see a white privilege card. Two officers were seen standing outside her car when she asked them, "You like my white privilege card?" According to a video of the encounter that was reposted on Twitter, one officer responded, "That's hilarious." In a comment under her post, someone asked if she received the ticket. Nope, Israela replied. The original social media posts have since been deleted from Facebook, but screenshots and video footage have circulated online, with several calling on police to investigate the incident. It's not entirely clear from the post when the traffic stop occurred or whether Israela was issued a citation. Per the municipal attorney's office, we are unable to answer these questions as the incident is currently under investigation and it relates to personnel matters. Anchorage police spokeswoman Sonny Guerin told the Associated Press the incident has sparked outcry among several in Alaska, with many calling on police to investigate the incident, citing concerns about racial equality. I wouldn't think they would be that stupid to actually have something physically that someone could take a picture of or possibly take it away from them and steal it and reveal everything to someone. I thought they would have like a secret handshake or something. I know that there are people of color that weave and they get ticketed, said Celeste Hodge Groden, president of the Alaska Black Caucus. They put together a press conference fast as hell. They don't have they they don't have that white privilege here because if everybody got one, it wouldn't be a privilege anymore. Get out of a citation card. Anchorage police have opened an investigation into the incident, although it's not yet clear if or when the results will be made public. The agency did not respond to a request for comment by the Washington Examiner. Man jams finger in eye of NYPD officer at Times Square vac site. The only extremity that's more filthy than the bottom of your feet are your fingers. And this is New York City, so everything is probably covered in fecal matter. You're just gonna stick it right in someone's eye. A man jabbed an NYPD officer's eye near Times Square, reportedly after the cop stopped them from blocking the entrance of a COVID-19 vaccination site straight out of the Three Stooges. The assault happened at 136 West 42nd Street around 2:45 p.m. as the 25-year-old officer was patrolling the area. Police said the man, who appeared erratic, tried to enter the location, which is listed as a vaccination site. The officer asked him to move and not block the entrance. That's when the man became irate and refused to move. Police said he then attacked the officer from behind and jabbed at least one of his eyes. Objects in your mouth, germs entering your body through your mouth. That's the easy one. Through your nose, which is soft tissue. It's easy to spread germs through your nose. That's another easy one. But what some people don't realize is that your eyes are susceptible to taking in germs also. That's soft tissue and is moist. So it's easy to spread germs when people touch your eyes, when you touch your own eyes. The Daily News reported that the two wrestled on the pavement outside of the vaccination site, with the assailant jamming his fingers into both the officer's eyes before two retired officers working security at the same site came to his aid. The officer suffered bruising to at least one eye and was taken to Bellevue Hospital. Police said he also had abrasions to both corneas and a fractured thumb. According to the report, the man was reportedly arrested at the scene, although the NYPD was able to confirm that Thursday he is said to have suffered several cuts to his face in the melee, and I would have tased him until his tongue turned into a chicken nugget. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.